discovering so much. Like just today we discovered a lot about, and that actually confirming that it was a church. It's crazy. Is that plaster?
In 2015, uncovered part of a structure inside of the Roman fort that we're digging that we thought was, it's clearly built secondarily to the original fort. And what we uncovered inside was a little bit of evidence that it might be a very early Christian church. Yep. Flip that over your head.
لا عاد عاد لا كذا يزن.
They're digging inside of the structure. We'd found one little, where that tarp is in there, we uncovered the one side of it in 2015, but we weren't exactly sure if we hypothesized it could be a little church.
Is that plaster?
Yeah, we're getting pretty good at that. We have students that come out here that take them. We end up with plaster in the pottery bucket.
It's red.
Oh,
painted.
So this is really cool because you can see this red bit is painted, and it's a pretty decent chunk of red paint.
I'm uncovering a wall. I don't know where to stop.
As we can see, there's definitely stone here. And then we have all these loose stones up here. And oftentimes, as you look around, you can see in various walls, they have these large stones piled on top of courses of smaller stones. That's called boulder and chink. And so we suspect that these big stones are the same wall as these little stones, and this is just a lower course, and this is a higher course of the larger stuff, which means there should be large stones somewhere right here. It's mostly broken pottery. This is all ceramics. It's okay. It was just in sand. Yeah. As long as it's not embedded in gravity. Go to keep on working this way, but take it in.
It's like, oh my gosh, this is where the Romans walked. This is like where they had their meetings.
We knew that we had something here of architectural significance. We suspected it might have been a chapel. And so this year we wanted to come back and expand to the north and to catch the rest of the chapel. And hopefully that's what all this standing architecture here is.
As we get further down, there's more and more stuff. Anything lower than that, as you get closer to the ground, is going to be more and more valuable information. Because sometimes you're looking at, decades that, it's only inches of soil or something.
When churches started to take their sort of canonized architectural form, one of the things they have is this chancel screen that sort of separates the sacred from the congregation. So the apse should be separated by a chancel screen. It would either be made of wood or marble and sit up, and so we've been waiting to see if that existed, and you found it. That's awesome.
There's a bunch there, there's some back there, and some more over here.
Is that just where they burn stuff?
It's possible. I'm thinking that it's related to the collapse of the church. So whatever event caused the collapse of the church was related to this fire, and as the organic aspects of the church, like wooden beams and whatnot, fell over, they burned and became ash and charcoal, and these are the deposits we have in our locus here.
This has been down here so long and we never knew about it, and we're just now, and compared to how long it was down here and how long this church was still active, our little period of discovering it is very small.
This is more of the molded plaster that was used for bonding the rocks together, but this really thin stuff was probably used on the wall face. And so we're interested in this because if you can piece it back together, even if to the naked eye you can't see anything on it, there's different wavelengths of light that you can take pictures of it, and then it can show you potentially old graffiti or inscriptions that were on it. So technology is your best friend.
Yeah, this is all coming out that side that just looks like a divot.
Cut through. And this rocks
These stones have been sitting here since 350 AD. And today, first time, they're actually being lifted and moved by our hands. Very cool.
Around the world, you'll see that Christian churches haven't really changed that much throughout the years. They all have this sort of screen that we're missing. It was probably made out of wood or something that didn't keep up over the years.
Just like our school church, but smaller and more rocky.
Samples, we'll like put it up in tin foil.
Because this could be fairly new.
Like when we're digging, it won't be for another week or so before we would get down to the level of surface that people were actually using, other than in the apps where you guys were digging, because that's higher up. Yeah. Yeah. But so when we dig in the other rooms, it's usually not till the very bottom layers that we start to find stuff. And a lot of the times we've had just fantastic preservation where we have whole pots and pottery assemblages, so we'll find 3 or 4 pots and a lamp all together, coins all over the floor, things like that, which would suggest that for whatever reason they just left. The place was just sort of abandoned with a lot of stuff left there. We don't know why. There was a major earthquake in the region in 363 that destroyed Petra and a lot of the other cities in the whole region. So the idea that it couldn't have affected us, I mean, it had to have, but again, we can't say for sure.